And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. And I want to talk to you guys today. I'll let the chat load. I know this is midday for some people. Some people it's kind of in the evening. It's midday for me. Um, and let's talk about some boxing. You know, we got one on the chat, one like, two on the chat, one like. Let's get those likes up. When you guys come in, let's hit that like button. Broomy, Nutters, what's up, brother? Kind of punch to you. And um, let's get into it. Let's do it. Let's do it, man. This is just a random chat. Like I promised you guys, I would go live every day. The only day that I think I missed so far was Monday, but I think I made up for it a couple days because I went live a couple days from Birmingham, England. Counterpunch to you, brother. Chris Serrano in the house. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you guys. Um, I haven't did a video on this, so I want to cover it too, just to do a little catch up, because I have a lot of videos in queue, man. So I want to talk about this Mauricio Suleiman versus Anthony Joshua thing. You know, like as you noticed, Mauricio has came forth and he is in fact, congratulated and accepted the idea of Anthony Joshua fighting for the belt. That's crazy, because before, he wasn't even ranked. Joshua wasn't. So it's just really bizarre now how things have changed, right? I'm gonna put a post up some vids on boxing to you, bro. You speak a hell of a sense. Thank you, brother. It's good news for us. Yeah, it's good news, but it's just surprising kissing AJ like he's doing. Tyson Fury's the champ. You know, Anthony Joshua's also the champ, but he's not the WBC champ. So it just makes you wonder. I'll let the chat load. I will let it load. You guys are 17 on the chat. Let's hit that like button. I know you guys probably don't get notifications. Maybe you guys were scrolling through YouTube. YouTube is a very addicting platform these days, especially during the pandemic. We can't blame it on the pandemic. YouTube is the shit. It's what everyone goes to. It's the video source of pretty much everything. Remember back in the day, you used to have Google video. If you guys can remember that, YouTube was still kicking ass. So good gonna buy you. Seem to be one of the non-biased and speak sense. Joseph Metz, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Joseph Metz, that bell. Appreciate you, brother. Hit that bell icon. Also want you guys to check out Lady Sean. It's Lady Sean. She's on YouTube, and we had one hell of an interview yesterday. So Philip, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you, man. I'm doing good. I'm doing better and better every day. I've been on that CMOS, so that I think it's maybe the CMOS is making me feel a lot better than I'm supposed to. NHD, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. What's happening, Kurt? Nick G is in the building. Lay, Sutcliffe, counterpunch to you, Lay. Or is it Lee? Maybe it's Lee. Right? But yeah, I just really find that really interesting. Jim Brown, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. A Bear, did you have the COVID? I don't think so, but I did take a COVID test today. So if I did have COVID, probably I don't know if I have it, unless it was one of those 24-hour COVID attacks, and it got in. It was like, oh shit, too strong here, and it got the hell out. I sneezed it out, pissed it out, or whatever it out, right? Will Mesa, 34, spitting, man. You know what I mean? The truth will set you free, and I want to be free. I want to be free. WBC stands for World Best Corruption. Wow. Robert Brown, that's a new one. I haven't heard that one. I heard we be crooks, we be cunts, right? Wilder Belt Corporation, Wilder Belt Championships. I've heard a lot of that stuff. We got 38 on the chat. Guys, hit that like button for me, please. Will you? Ajet Kabayel was a former sparring partner of Fury. Okay. You know, He beat Chisora. So zombie flu counterpunch. I heard that. D Brands, evening, Kurt from Manchester, UK. What's your take on Lewis Holyfield and the other WBC champs coming out at the first Wilder Fury fight, stating that AJ for not wanting to fight Wilder, yet the truth is out. D Brands. I think it was an agenda. I think Lennox Lewis wanted to be the adopted son of America, but he was really not accepted. You know what I mean? Now, as far as everyone else goes, everybody else was on that panel was American. So, I think the desire for the American heavyweight champ is here. Domino Don. Wilder seems desperate. I think what it is, I think those fighters on that panel, D Brads, were I think the agenda was, hey, let's hype up the idea that you have a unified British, overpaid, unified British champ that doesn't want to fight Wilder. So let's do this for Deontay. You heard about the tampered gloves last night. Not good for boxing. Robert Brown. I just did it, man. I just finished the video on that, and I seen how of course, they try to link it to, Tyson Fury. Which why would you link that to Tyson Fury? Tyson Fury didn't get caught like this guy. If you want to link it to anyone, guys, check out the video. I've just done three. So I did one on Mike Tyson, another one on that particular issue with Miguel Roman. Yeah, yeah, he pulled some Antonio Margarito shit. And good thing about coaches, they caught it. Do you think AJ will get his hands on the WBC? I'm not sure, because if he beats Fury, he will. But who knows? Who's to say that Fury will keep the belt? Because the way he's talking about it, Fury doesn't respect that type of shit. He just got it. Now he has it. Okay, I've had it. I've had them all. So what? So I'm gonna make me do something that you know some sanctioning body with Fury? No, especially if he's still undefeated. So AJ may fight someone for the belt, but it may not be Tyson Fury. Andre Rodriguez, what's up, Masters of Boxing? That's what's up, man. Jorge Fortes, yo, I started to to new Deontay boxing would be boring without him, and I am an AJ fan. Well, what it is, Deontay keeps the tabloids going. He keeps the rumors and all the stories going in the boxing community. If you didn't have Wilder, like let's look at it this way. You guys remember from March to probably from the month of March, you didn't hear anything from Deontay Wilder, and it was kind of bleak. So you're right. You got a point there. And I like AJ too. I like both AJ and Deontay, but AJ is that standard guy that he's that all American branded champion. Whereas Deontay is this unorthodox, out of the box, controversial at times, says some crazy outlandish shit. He's twerking, he's speaking up for civil rights, he's going off on Radio Raheem. He's plucking Tyson Fury in the eye. He's saying that, hey, I want to have a kid. He has 7 kids at the same time, or 8, and he yells to this day in Bomb Squad, and that may give an old woman a heart attack. That's Deontay Wilder. So, you know what I mean? On the second baddest man on the planet, he calls himself. So, Wilder, it would be boring without Wilder. That's why I don't want Wilder to retire. Why the fuck would Wilder want to retire? You think he can't knock anybody else out? You know what I mean? That's the crazy thing. Just because you seen one guy do it, don't mean everybody can. Don't mean everybody will. But what will we see? Will we see him get back into the ring? Let's hit that like button, guys. Let's hit that like button. So Jorge Fortes, good counterpunch there. Robert Brown, Foster was going to be killed. Oh wow. Kurt, I love that you are so unbiased. You and Showbiz are the only unbiased channels on YouTube, and I respect what y'all do. Much keep grinding, and I'll tell Cairo Middleton. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Keep it going. I'll keep it flowing. Keep it going. I'll keep it flowing. D. Brads, thanks, Kurt. Take care. Keep up the good work. Appreciate you, brother. Domino Don, who do you think is going to win, Joyce or Daniel? You know what? That's going to be a fucking war. People going to think Daniel Dubois will go out there, belt Joyce, and he's just going to go away. I don't think that's going to happen. Anybody named the Juggernaut is created that word. What I'm saying is, think about Dubois. Dubois himself has what, about 12, 13 first round knockouts, and all of them weren't KOs. They were stoppages. You see what I mean? This is a high caliber fight for Dubois. Dubois is looking past Joyce, and that may be a problem. Joe Joyce is a guy that, see, if like someone like Usyk, we seen Usyk like take Joyce to school, and Joyce took a lot of punches from Usyk, but Usyk is no Danny Dubois, fair play. But Usyk is no Dubois, and that's a good thing also, because Dubois is easier to hit than someone like Usyk. He doesn't use those type of angles. He's more of a plotting style fighter with a good jab, Frank Bruno-ish. It's gonna be a war with him and Joe Joyce. Triple D versus the Juggernaut. That shit sounds like a comic. So Domino Don, it's gonna be a good fight. Daniel was favored to win, but if Joyce comes out and starts whacking Dubois with something that gives him trouble, it might be some trouble for Dubois. Because again, Dubois had 12 to 13 first round KOs. What prepares him, or he's going the distance with someone like Joe Joyce? Joe Joyce is a step up from Dubois also. Even though he might be the best prodigy or the best guy out there, that's for starters, doesn't mean he can't be upset. You remember Ngannou? He stepped in there with Dominique Brazil, and what happened? He dropped Brazil, but Brazil came right back and took him out. Robert Kopax. Wilder will call out everyone, but he will not show like all my dates. Well, hopefully he'll get in there with somebody worth a damn. Let's hope that for him. Luke Lozovic, who has the best chin in the heavyweight currently. I would say Andy Ruiz does. Because I see that left hook knocking, that same left hook knocked out Povetkin. But that left hook dropped Andy Ruiz. Ruiz ain't never been down. I mean, mind you, he ain't fought in over 11 months, but he got dropped. I'm looking forward to Babbitt versus Little. I like both of them though. Bear. Babbitt is an exciting fighter, but I see Babbitt. He will not be a champion, but he will be definitely a guy that gives the fans what they want to see. Pete Rose, I blame Wilder's grandma. Why? Because he was anointed by God. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Okay, let's see. Who has the? Okay, let's see. Jim Brown. All of these 3 or 4 heavyweights have to do is mix it up 2 or 3 times with each other and they will create their own golden era. You're right, Jim Brown, but they have to do that. They have to believe in themselves. They have to believe that they are better, or they have to, decide we're going to fight each other and we're not going to be afraid. So you're absolutely right. Everybody wants Tyson. Everybody wants Joshua. And I think the problem is Joshua makes so much fucking money. Everybody wants that sweepstakes. They want the J sweepstakes. Gus Growl. Hey, Kurt, who's your favorite boxer all time? Joe Louis. Robert Kopass. We found out after Triple D and Joe Joyce fight. We'll find out. You're right. Hulk Smash. Hulk Smash. Robert Brown. Fury just want the big payday. He don't care about the sport. Well, he did talk about retiring, so you might have some truth to that. I think he's selling himself a little short just by beating Wilder's, like, I'm the best or whatever. I think he should continue that journey. But one thing about Fury, though, if he tells you one thing, he may tell you the next thing next day. So if he says he does retire, he'll come back. Who do you think wins a light heavyweight? Andre Ward versus a Michael Moore, both in their primes. Ooh, Michael Moore was the bad boy, though. Um, oh, that's a good one, man. I have to give it to Moore on size, not on speed, though. But I mean, he was a quick fighter too. Chin was catchy, but that's at heavyweight, not not where he was at. Why do you think wins at light or heavy? Okay, Dean Bradford, Robert King Ebenezer. There's only one Tyson Fury. Andre Rodriguez. Robert, I disagree. G Famil, counterpunch to you. Well, Mesa, England is the counter from England. Is there any possibility you hooking with Bruce Vane in real talk boxing? Get a good discussion about boxing. I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I talk to Bruce Vane here and there, on some other stuff, mostly boxing. So, I mean, that's we have different platforms. So, I like live. I'm not a tech guy. I just like, hey, this is me. This is what I know about boxing, the sport that I love, that I hate so much. Here I am. Bruce Vane, he spits his knowledge, but he's more technical. He has the capabilities and stuff like that. I have an editor, but part time, right? So I don't really have those type of things. So it's a different way we deliver the news. Kurt, who wins? Tyson or Jones? I think Tyson on the inside, Jones on the outside. Jones can catch you from afar. Then he has a longer reach, and I think he's faster than Mike, but Mike's always been the guy that has to fight to get in. So I don't know if that will be too big of a factor because Mike won't allow Roy Jones Jr. to box from the outside all the time. So we'll see. Roy has to hit Mike with something that keeps him back. But what will? Elbow. From a Brit, Wilder has a better chance against Joshua than he will against Fury. I go Wilder. Well, it's the styles. And the overhand right for Wilder is going to be a problem for Joshua. And it will be all night. It always will be. But then the same token, anybody that jabs or can jab Wilder will be a problem. He may need space to throw the right hand, but if you stuff the jab in his face, it's hard for him to set up that right hand to catch you with. However, he could counter over that jab, but someone like Joshua is ready to counter with his right hand as well, followed with a left hook. So the equation of those two are very, very interesting because sure, Wilder could get a shot off. And if he could get a shot off and hurt Joshua, he better finish him off. Windmill him and whatever, headbutt him, something. Get him out of there because if Joshua is able to put together just a few combinations on a person like Wilder, it's going to be bad for Wilder. This is kind of like this is a fight study, but It will be very bad for Wilder because Joshua, if he can hurt you, which I know he can, like let's say he catches Wilder can knock you out the right enough. But let's say Joshua catches him with a left hook on the ropes and he goes around that guard because Wilder doesn't have head movement. See, his defense is limited. Like a lot of things are limited about Wilder, but the importance is blocking, okay, deflecting, defending against someone that can punch. Joshua's a boxer puncher. If he catches you with one, two, three, four, one of those things land, he could hurt Wilder. And if he hurts Wilder, that's Wilder's ass. Because Wilder is already in retreat mode even when he decides to block a punch. So that's the problem with Wilder. When Wilder comes back and does this here, he weathers the storm. That's not good enough against someone that can punch. That's why that's such a dangerous fight for both guys. So it is what it is. They both have to come in and do what they need to do. They can't wait on each other. And if Joshua does wait on Wilder, that won't be good for Joshua because he's sitting back in the pocket right where Wilder wants him to be. Good. Stay right there. Stay right there. He jabs. Boom! There you go. That's what Wilder's waiting on. He needs that distance to throw that right hand. But if Joshua comes in with the jab, forces him back, gets him on his back foot, throws the right hand, left hook, right hand again, left hook, and Wilder's not moving, not blocking, not defending. He's just absorbing these punches. That won't be good for Wilder. It won't be good for Wilder. So it's one of those fights that we have to see. You know what I mean? Let's screw the politics and let's get this fight going. Andreas, Kurt, do you think Kevin Rooney will be the Tyson Jones? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know because Mike had to reconcile with some of his old heads, the people. He reconciled with Rooney. He reconciled with Teddy Atlas. Teddy Atlas has mentioned Mike recently. They kissed and made up. They hugged, some jacked up stuff that went down back in the day when Tyson was a kid. I mean, literally a kid. And some things die hard. Some things, people don't forget. When you do something to someone, don't forget. Hell, I know I don't. Forgive and forget, But I mean, who said that's easier said than done sometimes? But they have. So maybe they will. That's Andre. That's a good question. Maybe he will. I would love to see DW versus DW 100%. Staples 22. That should be a massive fight. And I'm glad. And if it took Wilder losing for these fights, for him to call out these fights, that was a blessing in disguise. Come on. Would you rather want to see another fucking Wilder Fury fight or a Dillian White versus Deontay Wilder fight? It don't really matter. You don't have champions. You do have two top heavyweights. There's still two top heavyweights. And they want to go in there and give it their all. Wilder's going for the knockout. It's all he knows. Dillian White pretty much hates Deontay Wilder, so he wants to do no more. He wants to do the same thing. He wants to beat up Wilder. So it's a great fight for both guys, and I think they should fight a couple times. Why not? So Wilder, I think redemption list. Jamie from West London, counterpunch to you. Legacy is more important to him. The money is important. Boxing is legacy is more important to him. The money is important, but considering he's been legacy is more important to him, the money, but considering he's been boxing for most of his life too, I really don't think it's about money purely. And who are we talking about? Gus Grow. Greetings from an African brother living in the Netherlands. We watching. I love your honesty. Love the game before the boxer. Appreciate you, brother. Shaka XL, counterpunch to you from the Netherlands. King Ebenezer. Wilder has no chance in a rematch. If he really believes the BS, he be talking. Yeah, I think he definitely needs to focus on getting Tyson Fury back. Did you say Deontay is fighting the third fight for money with Fury and Fury fighting for his legacy? I don't know. I think he's fighting for the contractual agreement. That one. Joyce is too slow. Shaka, you think he's too slow for Dubois? Triple G got IQ. He like young Tyson the way he let his hands go to the body. He's dangerous. He is. Boxing logic. You can't knock Joe Joyce out. It's impossible. See, there you go. See, that's what's going to be tested. Joe Joyce's chin and Triple D's resilience. Keep up the good work, Kurt. Pete Ross. Appreciate you. The baddest man is Alan the Babic Savage. He's a nutter fighting tomorrow night. Great. I can't wait to see him. No, I wasn't saying Fury was fighting Wilder for the third time for like, oh, okay, gotcha. Joyce is way too slow. Joyce does Dubois. He's a soldier, easy to read. What is the point of Mike Tyson versus Jones? Just to see two legends back into the ring, I guess. And it's for charity. And it's a rejuvenation of two guys that were once retired and never thought they would come back into the ring again, but never say never. That's how I look at it. Kurt, you done a piece on Tyson and Ped earlier. Come on, mate. You're not blind. I love Tyson. He's my favorite fighter, but he's definitely been on some juice body. And well, look, Patricia Pack. I think like if you want to talk about like stem cell search and stuff like that, you have to understand he's in his 50s. So what you regard as PEDs, that's different from what he's doing now from raising his levels to a normal level of testosterone. Okay, when you get a certain age, your testosterone is going to take a nosedive, a nosedive, right? So it's one of those things where you're going to need that level to be raised in order for you to function like you normally are, if that makes sense. So, Patricia, this is the thing. What I was counterpunching Chael Sonnen because Chen's ass was saying that Mike Tyson was cheating heads all his career. I'm not talking about cell search, so there's a good chance he was using testosterone replacement, but not his whole fucking career. He was just on drugs, like illegal drugs, not drugs that's gonna actually help him prevail, like intentions of people using PEDs today. That's what I was saying. What happened in the heavyweight division when Tyson Fury and Andy Joshua fights? What is your next live stream on a big boxing night, Kirk? It's gonna be Tyson and Roy Jones, really. Tyson and Roy Jones. Then after that, see ya. Then right after that, we're gonna have Joshua Pulev. So we got 3 weeks of hardcore pound live events, and I'm gonna go live each and every one. You keep pausing, Kurt. Your connection probably. Who's your network provider? I didn't know it was pausing. I think this is the device I'm using. I don't think it's the actual device. This shit's just old. Oh, Steven. Yeah, I already done a video on that, so stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. Kurt, do you have a Discord channel? I don't know. Tyson by headbutt. What's wrong with boxers these days? Unwilling to fight the best. Boxing logic. I don't know, man. They're worried more about money than fighting the best. If Dillian White gets knocked out from a left uppercut, Povetkin's best punch, What makes people think Wilder won't knock him out with his best punch, the right hand? Ooh, smooth will. Counterpunch to you. But then again, the right hand from Wilder versus an uppercut, that's two different punches. So if the kryptonite is the uppercut for White, does not necessarily mean the right hand won't. Not saying he can't. Not saying that. But those things can happen. Let's see. Sorry, the best in the era is like the skinniest guy at fat camp. No one really stands out of their own level. Wilder needs to see a psychiatrist. Sorry, the best. Okay, let's see. Wilder didn't even know Usyk was mandatory. He has no intentions of fighting again. Wow. But that's what happens when you're in your own little world over there. You don't know what other people are doing. You know what I mean? People talk about themselves as and close in what they're doing. They don't worry about too many other people. Love your content, by the way. I'm a Fury fan, but I really believe AJ could get in close wrestle. What do you think, John Joe Knight? This is what I think, and let me counter on this because I'm about to close. Um, Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, they've already fought each other. They've sparred each other. And Tyson Fury has said that Anthony Eaton, that was when Anthony Joshua didn't know his head from his ass. Okay, so, you know, those kind of guys, when they fight up and they square up, is going to be of something special. So Tyson knows. Tyson knows, and he might talk that shit about Wilder, but the only reason he's talking about Wilder because Wilder's a possibility Wilder might be in the ring. And when he was saying that Wilder is more dangerous and this, that, and the other versus AJ, I don't believe he believes that. Watch all Wilder's interviews. Whenever asked about the other fights or other boxer, he is literally clueless. Ao, like I'm telling you, when you're surrounded by yes men, you're not gonna know about other people. You're not gonna be in the loop. You're not gonna be in the loop. You're not gonna be educated about other fighters. That's the problem of being delusional. You're isolated by knowledge from knowledge. So a lot of shit Wilder probably don't know. I am a 41-year-old man, Kurt. Okay, sorry about that. Patricia. Okay, so I just saw Patricia instead of Patrick. Well, Mr. Pack, welcome. Next time, next live boxing night, you have Kurt on. Go for another bet, 40 pounds this time. Oh, counterpunch to you, or I'll give you a shirt because I don't gamble. So I believe in the barter system. So it's up to you who you decide to pick. You know what I mean? I might agree with you. So there's no need to bet against that. Sounds fun though. Why does a gatekeeper in a contender's body losing to a 41-year-old Povetkin is a statement law? Rick Quicker gutted about the Parker fight. Yeah, that sucks, Gary. I know. I was looking forward to him and Mr. Fa. So, but anyway, guys, I will reconvene as I promised. I think I will be able to do that today. I will go live because a lot of people asking me about the files in the rematch with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna do a live for that 7 rounds, and we're going to check the amount of times each fighter fouled each other. So I'll probably do that in a couple hours. So stay tuned for that. I'll be back live today. Um, so you guys have been warned. Everybody on the chat, you guys been counterpunched. I will see you as time permits in a couple hours. Yes, I will see the Conor Ben fight. I'm gonna watch it definitely. Give my counterpunch on it. And everyone has been counterpunched. Peace.